So in this video, what I'll do is I'll go over some of the lessons I learned on that long hike as we go to Australia. All right? And I'll show you some of the equipment changes, maybe. If you want to see them. Hello. Okay, I made it to the Walk of Fame, Roy Clark, and here's Weird Al Yankovic, and we're right across from the Chinese Theater, right there. I think you can see it, right? It's kind of blocked off. It's now called the TCL Chinese Theater. The Chinese group bought it. But there's Diana Shore, Earth Star. I'm looking for William Shatner. Okay, so you're going hiking and you're not going to have a waiter put water on the table that looks like this. You're going to go to something like this, to the river, if you're lucky you got this much water. And don't forget you're going to use the water to cook with also. So you need a very good source of water.
Is available to you throughout the flight. Please take a moment to look through the Virgin Australia magazine where you'll find highlights of the audio and video entertainment available to you.
So we're all laying around out here outside. Look at these guys. They've all been fed. It's the middle of the day. Okay. They've already gotten their water, so you need to get your water while you hike. That's the way it goes. So you got to figure out what water you're going to get. So let me explain it while you're in the cold. Okay? Kangaroos, they got all the water they need.
Effervescent.
I'm loving the coconut.
A warm
I wouldn't die for it, but it's pretty good. Well, we made it to Guadalcanal. We're on the boat. We're ready. They're over there in the line, showing them all their paperwork. And I guess what I'm going to discuss is how to keep your water when you're frozen. Okay, and that's why I'm showing the white tunnel, and what I used was the Sawyer squeeze to begin with, and when I did that, it froze. Luckily, Applesauce had, my brother had some bleach and little droplets, and they were like really small and really light, and they had the Aquavera chemical combination. And he had those, and I still kind of moved along with the Sawyer for a while, but that was only during the first week, and then I was afraid it was going to freeze. I didn't like sleeping with it, and I don't really think you should use it during the winter on something that's vital. I mean, you could be locked out of water for a while, although most of the places on the trail, you have a way to get off within a day or so, easily. And a few places that I ran into in the Smoky Mountains, the water was frozen, so you couldn't use it anyway. Now, if you're just going out for a day hike or something like that, you don't even need water purification. You can just take a couple of bottles of water, or 3 or 4 bottles of water with you. But yeah, for the long trail hike, you're going to have to do something, and I don't recommend the Sawyer Squeeze during the winter. After the winter, into the spring, if you want to take the thing and you stick it in your pocket, great. But a lot of people were sticking them on the bottles and sticking them in their packs. So now they're out in the weather with dirt or whatever. You know, I saw that. I just didn't like doing that. I like my Sawyer Squeeze a little bit cleaner, and I used to keep it in a bag in my bag sack, and I would use a CNOC bag, and the CNOC bag would expand with the water. It had a big opening. It was so much better than the other ones. It was better than a bottle that you would stick the Sawyer on and go that route. And as far as weight, it was very, very light. Plus, you kept everything in one spot. You always had it. If you lost a bottle with the Sawyer Squeeze on it, then, you know, you're screwed. So at least that was in my pack. But anyway, so my choices were the Aqua Vera during the winter, and then in the spring, according to what altitude you're at, I went with the Sawyer Squeeze. They both took exactly the same amount of time. Because you mix the chemicals together and you wait a few seconds and you put in your water and then you wait a few seconds. And by the time you're done with that, the Sawyer is already filtered its water. All right, so that is all the water I need to talk about. Made it through there. Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. I'm in Vermont. So we just got New Hampshire and Maine. Dun dun dun. Socks have just about had it. Time to get new ones. Big giant blister. Yay. That we can fix. Well, I think we can. Put hand sanitizer on my foot. You think they have foot sanitizer, or does it just work on hands? We'll soon find out. Is your knife clean?
So I got the alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to throw this away afterwards.
Is that it? He's going to throw the knife away. Whatever. I bet Delilah would be good at this. She'd raise that whole horse from a colt. What do you think? Squeeze it, see where it's at.
Start screaming if it hurts.
Ah! How's that? Did that help? It's probably going to be thick because it's got that callus on top of it.
Yeah. Might need that steak knife.
You think so?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
You want to hold that?
How am I going to hold that? I'm 6 foot away from it. I can't get it. Just squeeze it. Squeeze it from the bottom. See if it'll come out the top. Yeah. Huh, that was interesting. I have never done that before. You? Have you ever done this before?
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it.
That was really kind of nasty.
Do you feel like that other thing is also?
I think that's callus on top. It sure is red around it, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering.
I guess I should know more about blisters since
Yeah, you wanna?
You think it'll do anything? Let me see. Well, good morning. Yeah, foot care on the trail. One thing about your feet, you have to have the right shoes that fit your feet. And I was lucky, in a couple weeks in, about a week or so in, we hit Neal's Gap, and I went to that place right there at Neal's Gap, He fitted my feet, and then I sent those shoes ahead and then used those when I got to the Smoky Mountains, and it really saved my butt because I had great traction and my feet felt really supported at that point, and I needed it because my feet were starting to get really sore. You can see in that video, now that video was in Virginia. That was 500 miles in, and that was Raven taking care of some blisters that I had that were up under the stuff I'd gotten on either side of my heels, and I think I have a picture of that. I'll put that on here too. You can see where my socks were blown out. I used to change my socks almost every time that I got a new package. I would have them send me new wool socks, and I would change those. I just got regular wool socks, nothing special about them. And I would change them out, and they were fairly cheap. I think I got them at Northern Tool on sale. They were nice and thick. And my feet really got better after about a month and a half. After about a month and a half of walking, then they got to where they were easier to take care of. And they were pretty well set on the way they were going to go. By the end of after Virginia, I really didn't have a whole lot of problems with my feet. They were sore sometimes, but I had enough fat in my feet, I was okay. And one thing I would recommend is Oboz. I got those twice. I got different shoes. You can see here where I got some shoes that just fell apart on me. I got them from a place when I was up in Vermont thinking, oh, they would do it, but they didn't back up the shoe, didn't do anything. But I actually called the manufacturer of the shoe, and they paid me back for the shoe. And then I sent that to Dee Dee, or Sweet Potato, and she got new shoes. I wouldn't have it any other way, honey.
There he goes. You fishing out here?
Which ones you want here?
I think I'm getting rid of my partial. What are you doing?
You guys are all scrambling for food.
Hiker
Ah, ah.
I can't believe you bought those Northside, and you bought 3 of them. Really?
It says it made it halfway, and then they broke up the food into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different bags. Everything weighed out and electrolytes, and then I just stick it in my bag and it's done. That was really nice. Thank you. One thing we're doing is we're trying to resupply, and as you can see, this is kind of the lunch. And I got butter and instant grits to supplement my breakfast along with the oatmeals. These, in case I screw up, I still got plenty of ramen to do it. I always replace my Smart Water bottles. And then these are for snacks. And this is for 2 meals. I may eat a couple of these, and then I'll throw in some of those to go with it. The raisins are to supplement the oatmeal I already have. And I was going to try this to see if I could even cook with it. And I had some candy, more Cliff Bars, and then I was out of glucosamine and magnesium for my electrolytes. But that's what I'm doing. I'm not sure what they're doing. If you buy it at the store, you can replace what you know you got. If you send it a package, you're not sure later if you're still eating that or you're getting exactly what you want. That's the difference. Love you, mean it.